Joining me for inside the studio, na man wey be sabi him na human rights lawyer and human rights activist, and a person wey be sabi fight for people them well too. Oga Chidi Anselm Odinkalu, a Nigerian human rights activist, lawyer, professor, and writer. In fact, I no go fit name all in portfolio finish sake of say the grammar way in portfolio carry my mouth no go fit read them. I no say I need to hear English for evening. Now only pidgin English I dey hear. Oga Chidi Odinkalu, thank you so much for obliging me. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for obliging me. I say make I ask you, thank you first of all as you agree answer us to come talk to us and to at least help us look at things, the states where we did for inside Nigeria and the things and what we fit do to come off for where we did. Because people talk say, now first of all, when you realize the problem where you get, now you go fit know the solution to that problem. So when we know the problem, we will come begin know the solution to the problem where we did. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they elect them for February 2023 and then he enter office for inside May 29, 2023. And since that time till this past May, we just finished now 2 years now you don't do. Now, President Tinubu score himself plenty mark for the May celebration. Say he don't do well. Say in fact, say the bad days don't they over Nigerians them. And then some other people don't they talk otherwise, including in own town social cultural organization Afenifere. Talk say lie. In fact, may they even impeach you because you don't do well. But you, as person where they watch, when no things we suppose concern human being and human rights, how you go fit talk say Nigeria day now under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Nigeria is in a very bad way at the moment. I don't know which part of Nigeria that you are in, but wherever you are, you will see evidence of hardship of the kind that we probably have never known before. Kwashiorkor, malnutrition, stunting, picking the way no fit grow, sake of say they no get food to chop. Die everywhere. Everywhere you go now, na slump and die they happen. They say this one is slump die. The other one is slump die. It don't slump die. The other one is slump die. What's they call slump and die? People no get job. Wahala too much. Medicine, they no fit get. Drugs from market, they no fit get. If you get the medicine self, now fake drug, right? Because the cost of the drug or original one, you no fit buy am. People no get. The people wey get minimum wage, you no fit buy nothing. You enter market, crayfish, you no buy. Tomato, you no buy. Tatashe, no show. Yamko, no. You even try to buy agbado. Sake of say, president promise us say, the time when he made the campaign, say no how where agbado no day inside market. You go enter market, try buy agbado. No agbado. Small agbado like this, the one we get Kwashiorkor, the one where they give people with BIDP, then tell you send a 500 naira. One pair, 500 naira, 300 naira. How people get that kind of money? People look at big things to decide what Nigeria is like. Have you tried, do you know that, have you seen now that these days, roasted yam get size for inside market? They get as a slicer. Have you know they go market?
I even see say they, say another thing where I see now for this period now notice say they know they sell only one tube of yam. They share yam now they sell. So if he cut and buy according to the one if he buy now.
Thank you. You see, all this talk, I say inflation did this one, GDP did this one, say World Bank, all that one are nonsense. Because if you mad Nigeria, you go know say wahala day. Okay? Go any village when you like. You go see picking where get belle. You get belle, nobody say anybody give am belle. Now, waiting to am, you no chop, you never chop. In yash don't finish, in belle don't distend. The color of the pikin itself don't yellow. Everywhere in the country there is evidence of malnutrition. So you see the part of the crisis we have is a crisis of government by propaganda. And if you love your people enough, the first thing you do is admit we have a problem and admit we need all hands on deck to solve it. Which is the point Shehu Okimbaloye was making last night in his summation and message to President Tinubu. At the end of the day, let's all agree we are Nigerians. We would like the country to work. Nobody's expecting Tinubu to be a magician. But this business of lying to Nigerians about the experience that people are confronting is offensive. Okay, maybe when yesterday or the day before yesterday, they said Boko Haram them will be one kill, they call him former chief of army staff.
But him don't come and say a lie, saying a fake news, do me carry. Saying a lie, say nothing happened to him.
Fake news? Why won't he say it is fake news? Of course, that's what do you expect him to say? Because it's embarrassing. And he doesn't want to be in a position, he doesn't want to be the person embarrassing government, because at the end of the day, he was APC as chief of army staff and he's APC as ex-chief of army staff. And he wants to be on the right side of government patronage. Of course he's going to say it's fake news. Deal. Who is the source of the fake news? Is it not a senator from Borno State? Oh, yes, he's from Yobe State, admittedly. But Borno and Yobe State are essentially one state split in two. It's like Abia and Imo states.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Prof.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've been talk, say, say this president talk, say, what's he making make these policies? Now, policy will be say all the other president they no get the act will be the mind to do. Say now only now get the impetus. Sorry, forgive me for that language, but now get the mind to do what other people never do, because all the enjoyment would they enjoy since would they enjoy at the detriment of our unborn generation. Now him don't can't take that painful decision to use stop that fake enjoyment so that we go fit get a better future. So, and again, all the presidential presidents.
So the only person, wait, my sister, the only person we're supposed to get the fake enjoyment by himself, he has bought himself a new presidential jet. He has bought himself new Escalade. He has bought himself, his vice president, a new residence. He has bought himself the biggest convoy in presidential history. He has bought for all legislators. We are supposed to be poor now. Things are supposed to be harder. But never before in the history of this country have we bought legislators four-wheel drives. All legislators at the federal level. What nonsense what nonsense is that?
Okay.
And now we have the biggest cabinet in the history of elective government in Nigeria. By the way, as you and I are speaking,
yes, sir.
They set up the regional development commission. So you have the Southeast Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission, South Development, all of them.
Yes.
I mean Southwest.
Yes. They don't even give middle belt to be the last one. That is a mid and South, not Central.
Good.
Yes.
Now they were supposed to have each state was supposed to you were supposed to have one managing director and one executive director from each state. In the last week, they have amended the laws to double the number of executive directors from 6 to 12. Has anybody told you that?
Yes.
We are having the biggest explosion of political appointees in the history of Nigeria. And someone is telling me that they are taking courageous decisions. What nonsense.
All right. Prof, sir, this same question, when the president gets the only media chats when he don't get since he enter here, where he talk to media people, they ask him that question, say, now you get the largest cabinet. And he asks the media people back, say, show me anybody where I no need, make her come out to the person. The media people no fit tell him, say, who will go there on which position they are necessary.
Matawale, he doesn't need. I can tell you several of them he doesn't need. Matawale, he doesn't need. I've given you one name.
But now, he say he need all of them because of the kind of work, big work we want to do for Nigeria. You know, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Okay, my sister.
Yes, sir.
If you can name 15 ministers in this cabinet, I'll give you 100,000 naira. Start.
Sir, no, you know, say me, I be media person. Now, me, they ask the question, not be you guys, sir. So, we could just reverse the thing.
Wait, now, President is doing big work. Ministers are doing fantastic work. Name 15 of them out of 48. You can't. Because they don't exist. The only reason people hear Wike is not because he is doing work. It is because he's a thug and a drunk one at that.
But Oga Wike, they do work. Remember, say the only international conference center we would do, it don't renovate them all. And the thing now, international standard, it befits the name now, International Conference Center. And in they build
Have you
road
been to
anyhow,
Abuja?
they scatter construction anyhow for inside Abuja.
Have you been to Abuja? When last were you
I
in
never go. I never go. Since this administration, I never go. I no go lie.
So we will not have that conversation, because if you had been to Abuja recently, we would have had a conversation. I'll try and point out to you the neighborhoods in Abuja where you try and tell me what the minister is doing. Look, what is happening in Abuja? A minister in the Federal Capital Territory is digging up existing roads in the most priciest parts of Abuja that were already well looked after. He is scraping them to award contracts to his cronies. Yes? As I speak to you, don't say somebody told you. Go and look. Senator Abuja, who lost to Ireti Kingibe?
Yes.
In the last election.
Where be the
Senator
person who
Abuja was
don't get
representing
since a
Abuja.
senator since?
Very good. Senator Abuja, who lost to Ireti Kingibe, is the closest contractor to Wike. He follows Wike even to the toilet.
Yeah.
Yes? Senator Abuja, if you go to Senator Abuja's house on Ebitukiwe Street, you will see that he has redone his house and he has repainted it. He has moved up the fence, so you can't use the fence is so high now, it's like he's living in a prison. And the fence is repainted new from this contract money, digging up roads in Abuja. Okay? Now, the roads are being dug up in Metama, in Wuse 2, in Asokoro, which are the most expensive parts of Abuja. Go to Jikoi or to any of the parts of Abuja where ordinary people live. No development. Nothing. Rainy season already begin. Now they die. Yes? Nothing has been done in the parts of Abuja where workers live. Mr. Pro, the only big thing that is happening in Abuja for the first time is the minister in two things happening. The minister for Abuja, if you are walking around the city, you now see big billboards of Mr. Wike with old pictures of him when he was looking very chubby. Not the current pictures where he's looking quite interesting. Old chubby pictures of Wike littering Abuja, big billboards defacing the whole place, Mr. Projects. The only thing they forgot to do was to have him with a bottle of 50-year-old whiskey, staring at it longingly. Yes, everywhere in the city, you have these billboards that have littered the place. Secondly, what else is there? Every week he is doing press conference, looking for one former benefactor of his to abuse. If he's not abusing Mr. Odini, he's abusing Odini's wife, or abusing Omehia, or abusing what is it called, Rotimi Amechi, or abusing some other person from his village. He's just looking for people to abuse. Somebody with that degree of insecurity and joblessness cannot be a minister. Because if he were to be a minister doing serious work, he would not have that amount of time to be indulging in that nonsense.
Okay, sir, Prof, make we speak to the quality of the projects and when they do and their costs. You know, say in go National Assembly the other day and they sing song for and they hail and well, they call on the star boy of Tinubu administration. Now so senators hail and well. But
Senate.
Senate, Nigerian
Senate or another Senate.
Yes, sir.
Senate.
Yes, sir. Now there you go. Now when they go defend in 1.something trillion naira budget, we didn't give them.
That is the Senate that declared a state of emergency on a voice vote, correct?
Yes, sir.
Please, can you say something else?
Okay. So now, speaking about something else, the some of the work we don't do, like the renovation of the International Conference Center, where EBC is renovating with 39 billion naira. You know, Build, he renovates because the conference center they exist. He renovated with 39 billion naira. And then the vice president house, he renovated with about 21 billion naira. Waiting you go feel talk about this cost then per project. You know, waiting make I like me could get this kind of conversation. Now, because make Nigerians they know the ideal thing what they're supposed to expect and how they feel they hold their leaders accountable.
How many hospitals was he renovated? How many hospitals has he renovated?
Yesterday, day before yesterday, person go in FMC, Abuja. They say hand glove no need to use carry the person come off for hospital.
Exactly. How many schools has he renovated? You didn't hear that teachers were striking because of the arrears they were owed? You see, Nigerians get, as I said, let's not get distracted.
So can we speak?
Who follows Wike to the toilet has redone his house from all the contracts. Go and see his house on Editukwe Street in Jabi. You will understand where this money, what this money is being used for. What is the money being accumulated for to rig election in 2027?
Yay.
Now, these people forget that they are not God. That, it is quite possible that even myself speaking to you here, and none of us, as a matter of fact, has an assurance that we'll be alive tomorrow. So all these people playing God and accumulating all this money in order to publish results of elections ahead of time in 2027 may find themselves surprised.
So, Prof, make we look at the, cocoa of the matter. As you mentioned, Wike on, so make we start with them. We'll go move around, go other ministries. Because for now, some people, they also mention some kind of very interesting ministries where the president don't bring out before we go around share reports. This matter supposed long, well. Now make a vex our village people, let us see your face as we talk this talk. Now, as you don't talk Wike matter, we don't talk about the cost of the project. Now, this same cost of project, say from winning the River State, now so they be the call them Mr. Project too. Even though say some people for River State at that time look and say some of those projects and just conduit pipes to collect money. For instance, then put flyover for where did they call Rumola for Port Harcourt. Flyover they there. Between Rumola and Wadana Water Lines, another in fact GRA Junction, flyover day. From GRA to Water Lines, flyover day. From Water Lines to Garrison, flyover day. And these things are just how many poles differences. All of them are walkable distances. So people call it talks and those short flyovers, the night they use collect money with they use the now them say, night they talk. Now people don't they want to insinuate this one. Is it that the inflation for the country no fit day enough for person to use build international conference center or renovate them with 39 billion? Or does it mean that there is more to that? Because this is a part of complaints where people don't they make. In fact, some people even raise this matter, say that money they enough to build something way they bigger. So that we're going to speak to the core of the matter them. We'll go use hold our leaders account.
So any Nigerian who believes that you need 39 billion to renovate the International Conference Center in Abuja needs to have their faculties examined. Okay?
Yes, sir.
It's very clear. Now, by the way, Vice President Oshibajo was offered the opportunity for a renovation of the Vice President's residence. He declined it because he didn't understand why. Now, mind you, when these people came to power, they changed every piece of furniture in the residence.
Yes.
That was the first thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, all that, and I know because when you speak to the people who maintain the presidency, the Julius Berger maintains the presidency. Some of them can't understand why this waste is going on in a country that claims to be poor. And unless, you see, if the president and his retinue had cleaned up, had behaved as if they want to go through the same experience they want Nigerians to experience, things are hard, let all of us believe. So I'll run an in-government and save resources in order to help Nigerians. I can understand. Help Nigerians solve Nigerians' problems. But this is one rule for the rulers and destitution and impoverishment for the people. How does that make sense? But you see, the reason this is so is because they don't need our votes to come to power.
All right. We'll go talk about votes and how the votes fit eventually bring them to power. But make we look at other ministries. For instance, the Ministry of Works. Oga Dave Umahi, he just talk him today and say he owe loyalty to God first, then secondly to President Tinubu because of the kind of trust we bestow on him. And Dave Umahi, you don't see now they take up that gigantic, very ambitious project will be the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Where by the way, they don't finish 30 kilometers of the road. We promise to connect and shorten the distance between the west and the south, southwest and south to make them day shorter and all those. And then he also don't promise say road projects is scattered around the country to make sure say improve. Say this government they committed to working for the people of Nigeria. Could you speak to that, sir?
Which one? The 30 kilometers that is not 30 kilometers, by the way, right?
Yeah.
30 kilometers commission. Who commissions 30 kilometers on a 750 kilometer road? But first of all, even the 30 kilometers is missing. It's an unknown 30 kilometer, right? Now, to connect west to east, my sister, East-West Road?
Yes, sir. Now the road to my village.
Now, okay, good. So East-West Road is actually supposed to connect parts of that, connect Western Ijaw land to Eastern Ijaw land. No, be so?
Yes, sir.
Good. What is the state of that road?
Bad though. In fact, then the point say be like say the road divided into two. People go come, they pass through Owerri before they even enter those areas, enter south.
If you wanted to do something, why don't you start with at least making East-West Road, completing East-West Road? When you complete East-West Road, that is pretty much half of the west to east connection done. That at least will be progress. Don't you think so?
That's what some people think, sir.
Now, have you seen the east question? How much is this road, 750 kilometer road, supposed to cost per kilometer?
Okay, that money plenty. Even when somebody asks that question for Rice TV per kilometer, you no congre answer again, sir.
Thank you. So again, I don't want to come on your program and scandalize people. But if Devil Mai is telling you that after God, it is himself, or it is Tinubu, he is probably right, because no other president will tolerate this kind of nonsense. But mind you, this is not the first time that people talk about human beings in divine terms in Nigerian politics. Ojo Ogbesia, if you remember, under PDP, Ojo Ogbesia, who was minister, who was Tony Aneni's houseboy, was saying after God, it was Tony Aneni. Tony Aneni died, Ojo Ogbesia ported. So don't worry about these things. Today, Devil Mai is worshiping Tinubu. If tomorrow you become president, Devil Mai will worship you in exactly the same language. Mind you, here in our very big front, Kampolo did business with President Obasanjo.
Yes.
He did business with President Yaradua. He has done business with President Jonathan. He did business with President Buhari. And now he is the person doing door to door for President Tinubu. Door to door, he also did for President Jonathan. Don't be so? These people are agitators. Any government in power. Devil Mai was the person who told Ebonyi people that as governor elected of PDP, he had a right to do anti-party. That he could belong to PDP and he could belong to APC and nobody could do anything against it. Today, he belongs to APC and he will be doing anti-party against him. Nobody will do anything against him. That is the kind of politics that was created.
All right. A look at other issues we concern this administration. First of all, now this administration, as we talked earlier, now get the biggest portfolio we don't get so far. And then the administration, President Tinubu also creates some new ministries. Very interesting, like the Ministry of Blue Economy, for instance. And a lot of people laud that development or creation of that ministry, thinking, say, make we get a ministry we go cater for everything we concern our aquatic life, because the aquatic ecosystem, a very big thing where be say money where inside supposed big. Think say that one self a good idea, even though we never see any substantive thing or substantial thing where they don't do so far.
So now good idea you go job. Ma?
Sir?
Now good idea you go job.
No, it didn't power.
So Ministry of Blue Economy. What does it do?
We never still understand their full because we never see them in.
I don't know what the ministry does. How is it a great idea?
Because by paper, it's supposed to look like ministry. We're supposed to take care of everything we find the aquatic ecosystem and the money will go come out from inside. We're supposed to be a great idea. But we never see the practicality. Now we make us say, I don't understand, sir. Now make a thing see for help us explain.
Okay, I'm not a member of the government. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
What is the difference between the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and the Ministry of Blue Economy? Because you're talking of aquatic resources.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is the difference between Federal Ministry of Water Resources and the Ministry of Blue?
So this question we're asking now just daylight saying the difference between Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Livestock and it just daylight saying the same difference.
Well, not necessarily, because if you ask me about the Ministry of Livestock and Agriculture, I will say agriculture excludes livestock. I'm not saying it should. I'm saying in the way this is defined, it is easy to see. Okay. Livestock is about animals and management of animals.
Which is a part of agriculture.
Which should be a part of agriculture. So what you probably do is, what you should do is have Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. Okay? And in which case you can even have two ministers, one responsible for livestock and another responsible for non-livestock agriculture. Okay? Now, but what is the difference between Ministry of Blue Economy and Ministry of Water Resources? Can someone please explain to me? That's all I'm asking.
We never came about till we get there. What do you speak about the government talking about adopting a long-term report and then at the same time running the biggest ministries and agencies for inside Nigeria, where people don't talk to them about? Because this now waiting the Yoruba social cultural organization is very about recently.
Because we don't even know the difference between the two ministries, but we are lauding the creation of a new ministry. That's a problem. At the minimum, let us all understand as citizens what that entails. Because democracy is supposed to be government of the people, for the people, by the people. It is not voodoo now. It's not juju. So, waiting Ministry of Water, Agriculture, Ministry of Blue Economy.
Yes, sir.
How is it different from Ministry of Water Resources?
All right. So
now,
okay.
You can say, okay, one is Ministry of one is responsible for freshwater, inland water resources. Yes? And the other is responsible for saltwater, coastal resource. Now, the next question will then be, how is that different from the ports and transport? So, the thing is, if government is coming out with these policies, where enough it even explain to citizens, wahala dey. And as you can see, not only citizens wey no understand, even the ministers themselves no understand. Now they do anyhow. Matawale, Junior Minister for Defense, former governor of Zamfara State. Excuse me, how can someone run down Zamfara State come and defend you as Nigeria? You know say wahala dey. No be Zamfara be the place where bandits to come out everybody from house. Now, the governor, where they say he run that state so everything collapse for protection of everybody. Now you collect, come make defense minister, make it the defend every person. So when the country is in a situation now where our defense is collapsing, you people cannot add up 1 plus 1. A governor who could not run the state and protect his people, all of a sudden has to be responsible for defense of Nigeria. And you think it is going to work?
Okay, so make we move to some of the things where the president talk, as I say earlier, about adoption of Oronshara reports, and even though say the president they don't ask him that question recently or in handlers, then talk say na gradual process, say they go adopt them again. One of the persons we talk this one now is spokesperson Ogabayo Ononoga. He say na gradual process, then go adopt them. But with the way that they go, they say say na from clap they enter dance. With the way that they move small small, you see them as people who go fit eventually shrink ministries, departments, and agencies based on recent Oronshire report talk.
You say na from waiting that they enter dance.
Na clap now.
Na clap.
Yes now. And from
you
food
get
smell.
another proverb.
And from food smell that they take know how sweet it go be, how you go take sweet.
As you don't talk smell, put this inside this one. The proverb where I remember we say now from fat we enter shit.
I be no one talk that one, make another talk here.
No, because that is the one that one is supposed to talk. We say now we don't enter shit with this one because the fat don't smell too much. Yes. So, Orosai report, let's go there if that is where you want to go. Okay, so it's a gradual process. What have we started? If it is a gradual process, this is what? This is fiscal and bureaucratic consolidation, right? That's what it is. So you add, join, put ministry them. And so now, why do we need NTA and Federal Radio Corporation when we now have digital convergence? And so you can have in one platform audio, video, sound, the lot, and data. Right?
Yes, sir.
And Nigeria is no longer analog. Therefore, we can easily merge, in terms of platform and technology, we can merge NTA, FRC, and VON into one end. Why is that not happening? That's the easiest thing to do. In terms of the state of technology at this time. But we are unwilling to do it. Why? Because at the heart of the matter, President Tinubu is doing politics, not administration. He's got to create job for the boys, job for the people who are going to guarantee 2027. And unless you do that, then things are not going to work. And so we are littering the place with all manner of unsuitable people and saying one thing and doing another.
All right, so since you've mentioned 2027, let's go there. Why it be like saying that the first time for inside the country where 1 year never even come, 2 years never complete, because we still there within 1 year of the administration when we begin hear cries about 2027. In an ideal environment, what is supposed to do for make Nigerians understand what they're supposed to expect for places where things they happen well. For places where things they happen well, what they're supposed to expect and what be the right thing we're supposed to happen.
I don't know. You and I are living the experience of the administration, so you and I can reach our conclusions. No?
Okay. All right, then. Make we waka enter inside other issues as it get to do with this administration. Again, what's be the hope for the 2027 election, especially as it be say coalition people don't they talk now. Any hope day for Nigeria for 2027 for any other election?
Well, there's a Nigerian name called Lukman. Maybe so. If you look well, if you find Lukman, all of them they there. So we are here. 2027 is 2 years time, but really the election is in. The parties have got to decide their candidates next year. So, and the elections have to take place in less than 2 years' time. The elections will be around February 2027. So really, elections are less than 2 years away. And campaign season, or party primary season, is barely 1 year away. So there is no, you can understand, people are thinking in terms of May 2027, but actually the calendar politicians think about is about May, June 2026, which is when the primaries have got to take place. And so if you're a politician, or a minister looking to the governor of your state or run for political office ahead of the transition in May 2027, you've got to amass the money you need to be able to bribe whomsoever you need to bribe. And you only can amass that money this year. By next year, you won't have the time to amass the money.
All right.
You can now understand the vigor with which they are awarding contracts in Abuja and scooping up existing roads and making existing roads worse than they were.
Okay, so make we enter inside talk we get to do with things we go fit help us on the way forward on things we will fit do, because Afeni Ferre, as I talk, score President Bola Tinubu. Especially first of all, then talk say since in government, say the poverty index for Nigeria don't reduce well. Say President Bola President Buhari leave Nigerian percentage of poor people by 38%. Say he don't carry up go reach 50-something%. If that not true, waiting be your reaction to them. And then secondly, also talk about repression, how they use tight people mouth when people no talk. Say in fact, say they relate in administration to like that of the military regime. Waiting be your reaction to that, sir?
Well, how did we begin this conversation? It's about hardship. How hard things are for ordinary Nigerians, whether it is buying yam or agbado or pear or anything in the market, crayfish, tomato. It is no longer affordable. No matter what buyer says or what the president himself says, the fact of the matter is that nobody can say what they say compares with reality, which is obviously, manifestly not the case. All right? So that's number one. The thing about frightening people out of their wits, that is obviously very true. And partly it's a result of the fact that institutions have been destroyed. The judiciary is in a very bad place. The Inspector General of Police, who was supposed to retire, has been extended so that he can be there to do 2027 election. Everything is about the election. Institutions are all being kneecapped so that they are ineffectual, except for those who are raising issues in respect of 2027 election. So there's a problem, and I don't know whether you've noticed the one in Edo State, the only opposition politician, the only person who refused to jump from PDP to APT. Yes, they have now decided to manufacture charges that don't make sense against him, so that they will force him to leave PDP and join APC, and Edo State will no longer have even one opposition politician. Yes? It's not just about, it's the totality of everything. This is where itself, when they ask this kind of question now, if nobody say they do it for the kind of platform where they use, then they come back you.
I still in Nigeria now. They don't go back me and a question that they ask, now you the answer.
They come back you. Tomorrow we will say free precious. Precious is precious.
Now, speaking about this 2027 election and endorsement and all that, remember, say, for inside the interview when Dume hold yesterday, it talks, say 36 state governors we endorse former President Goodluck Jonathan, but he no win the 2015 election. So say no be by endorsement. After they endorse you finish, or the governors endorse you, the people them will get the vote, they don't endorse you. You don't think say people vote supposed matter at all? It don't they that bad. Say people vote not supposed matter.
They have rendered people's votes meaningless. They write election results. The current chairman of INEC is a bandit. Sorry, there's no other word I can find to describe him. They've rendered, and I don't know whether you listened to Rotimi Amechi last week when he said that if this same person, the current chairman of INEC, had been chairman of INEC in 2015, APC would have lost the election.
Yes, I hear him.
Thank you. That's how good an electoral umpire he is. They have reduced elections to non-events. What happens? INEC writes results before the elections, and judges, if INEC fails, judges write the rest of the results inside courts by themselves with no recourse to the people.
So as a human rights lawyer, what we supposed to do? We go just dey like this. Nigerians go just dey fold hand. If this things where they talk now, so it take be like this. What should Nigerians do? And that's why we're having this conversation. So that we go fit channel Nigerians their mind to the things where they're supposed to know, understand, and make them begin know the things and what they're supposed fit to do to liberate themselves.
You won't make I begin lecture Nigerians as to the way they're supposed to.
I beg. They need to know.
I have only one vote. I have only one vote. And I'm not older or wiser than any other Nigerian. Now, the same market, now they go, from the same market, they buy everything for inside Nigeria. No, so? You get, if you see APC, PDP, Labour Party petrol station, please tell me. Or if you see young person, old person market, just let me go. So, every one of us is experiencing the same nonsense. And if people cannot decide for themselves what they want to do, it's up to them. It's not my business to tell people what to do. I'm not running for election.